Having a green thumb is a myth. And today I'm going to be telling you 12 points that will make you be a pro gardener. I'll make you feel like one, act like one, and do everything that one does. So it's not about having a green thumb. It's about habits. It's about being deliberate. It's about being persistent. And all of that I'll show you in these 12 quick points. Let's go. First one relates to healthy soil. Building healthy soil. Starting a garden or trying to build whatever you already have all depends on the soil. You can find the best seeds, the best plants at the big box store, the best varieties, the rarities, anything you name it. But the soil itself is what grows the plants. And if you don't build it, having the right nutrients, having the right composition, then the plants won't develop the roots they need to be just as fine as what you see on the internet. So that is the first point. Build your soil. Start from the ground up, literally, which is the soil. Okay? We're going to continue. Water deeply. Water deeply, but not daily, okay? Of course, where you live, the climate you are in or the microclimate that you are in determines the watering needs of the plants. But if you assess your soil properly and assess the plants themselves, the leaves, if they are puckered, if they feel hydrated, no pests on them, nothing bothering them, but just the need for water or not the need for water, then you can do that real good. Now it's June, basically the end of June, beginning of July, so the heat is on here in Florida. But you can assess your plants properly and assess the soil itself properly, and you know when and how to water, and the best ways to do so deeply, because you don't want to be watering too often. Too often contributes to root rot, and of course the plants will die, and then you won't have the harvest that you're looking forward to. So that is my other point. Water deeply, not necessarily regularly. Okay, moving on. Mulch everything. Okay, your garden depends on it to moisture retention, regulation of heat within the beds itself or the pots, if that is what you have, and also around the garden itself. So like now I'm in an area here where I used to have debris from the yard, and so putting in here. So sometimes I do get sporadic, there are weeds for me, plants growing up. I have a turmeric plant down there, which I'm going to keep because that's fine. That is something I can do with. But I need to keep everything else at bay. So I have my bag of mulch here. Okay, this is like $3 at the big box store, and it helps me. So I'm going to be putting it in and around the garden. That will keep these weeds at bay. So all of that comes from one other point that I'm going to make: observation. Observe your garden daily, okay? Once you observe your garden, then you know what's happening, what's not happening, and then you'll be able to catch things much faster, even before they begin. So, like for example, I'm going to tell you one thing that I observe right now in my garden, because some of my plants, I kept them in from the herbicide exposure that they had, watching to see what happens, what doesn't happen, what I still can keep or remove. And I'm going to show you one thing. This pepper plant here, this is looking very sad. It was healthy a week or so ago. It even had blossoms on it, but now it's looking sad. This isn't doing anything, and I will have to remove it, okay? I have another one over there that is looking real sad. I did plant pepper seeds next to it, and those are coming along well. So I will be keeping the pot and of course the other plants, but the plant itself, that big pepper plant, is gonna go. I have my roselle plant here. Okay, initially it's the top of it is still looking sad, but I noted that there's new sprouting coming from these joints of the plant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off the top and still have my plant going. Those things won't be a total loss. So I can move on, just keep going, because that's all you have to do. Okay, just keep observing, keep going. And those small things make or break your garden and make or break you as a better gardener day by day. So things like that, observation. Okay, observation is good, and it helps you to move quickly. The other thing now is to feed your plants before they show signs of problems, okay? And when I say feed your plants, you're observing, so you know what is happening. Like this eggplant here, it is coming along very good, but I notice that it is putting off new leaves, which is what you want it to do. So new leaves, new shoots tells you that new growth requires more nutrients. This plant needs more nutrients. So it is in my best interest and the plant's best interest to feed it more, fertilize it. I fertilize like once a week. I don't try to be heavy on it. I know I get sporadic rain, in the evenings, every other evening, which is not too bad. It keeps the soil moist, and nothing is better than the natural rainfall. So in between the rainfall and me fertilizing, I know what to do with this plant. So that helps, because that helps with the produce that you get, or if you don't get in the amount, the quality that you get. So just observe your plants as they grow, what they are doing, because it will help you to help them better. Okay, moving on. Grow for your climate. Now, me again with my okra plants. Can you imagine the size that these are now? But that tells me they're planted at the right time and in the right climate to meet them. Florida zone 10, basically July. The heat, the humidity is uncomparable. So here we have, okay? Here I have plants that are showing signs that they are doing well. They're planted in the right soil. And I did plant some peppers next to it, and those are doing well as well, okay? So make sure that whatever you choose, they are planted at the right time to facilitate that plant, the climate that it is in. The other one now is rotation of crops. Rotate your crops, okay, for the benefit of your garden. This time of year, summer, it is impossible for me to plant certain things like cabbages of such. It is too hot for them. However, I'm sure if you've been following me earlier in my journey, I had cabbages in my garden. They're of course now out, everything is gone, but they did well, they flourished well. I bought them at the big box store real tiny, and then they took off. I did my first harvest and they were huge. So plant for the season and rotate your crops accordingly. So that is what you have to do. You can't be planting okras or amaranth, heat loving plants in the dead of winter. They will not thrive because the cold gets to them. Okay, so that is what happens. And also pay attention to your frost dates. Yes, frost date is important. It tells you something. It tells you when it's going to be cold for your area and the plants that you need to plant. It gives you guidance, because if a plant matures in 40 days and your frost date is now 20 days on, you can't plant that because you won't get any produce. The plant won't mature to its fullest, let alone produce anything for you. So you have to note those dates and times. Okay, so that is the other thing. The other thing now, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to prune, harvest, remove. You have to. If you want to keep having stuff like this pepper plant now, I'm just going to go ahead, because you can't keep holding on to spoiled milk. I cut it out. This is going nowhere. This is doing nothing for me. Okay. And now, yes, I left the root there, but sometimes the root itself fortifies the soil, and I don't want to be disrupting the soil ever so often. So I cut this off. This is going to my compost pile. This will just be here. But don't be afraid to remove, because removing bad things allow new growth, other things to surface, and space for them. And one other important thing I think I forget to mention, your zoning. Yes, pay attention to your zone, your USDA zone. I did a video on that, just making people aware that your USDA zone does affect what you plant and how you plant. So if you are aware of that, then you'll know how to function in your garden, and it will make you look good in terms of you are suiting your garden for the climate, for the time. Okay, so that will help. The other thing I want you to do is keep a journal. Write stuff down, okay? It does not matter if you're going to be judged. It's your garden, your little place, your space that you're trying to build and make it more productive. Write stuff down, because if you do, it is easy for you to go back, look at it, change, amend, and maybe follow the same pattern the next year and grow from it. So keep a journal, because it helps you to grow and it helps your garden to grow. Other thing, the last most important thing I want you to know: stop chasing perfection, okay? Yes, in the garden center, everything looks green, lush. Online, everything is green and lush. Your favorite person that you like to watch, their garden is perfect. But that does not mean that your garden will be as perfect. Perfection is not the goal, okay? The goal here is production, okay? So do the small things that you can to make your garden produce. And once it produces, you'll be happy. So now, stick around with me, Deb here, with another one. Continue, because we're going to be gardening like a pro by doing these small things, making small steps. So here I am with another point here. So join me in the garden, because you don't know what else you'll miss next, okay? So stick around. Take care. Bye.